Okay, so welcome back to the Keyword Academy's core lessons on keyword research and selection. And in the last lesson, we talked about why we work the long tail. We talked about our plan, which is to find and organize keyword groups, publish posts based on those keyword groups, promote posts to gain Google's trust, and repeat that process until you reach your income goal. We're still in the phase where we're looking to find and organize keyword groups. And again, in the last lesson, we talked about how there's really only one rule, and that's that there are no specific keyword rules. We just have some guidelines that we need to follow. And with those guidelines, we're trying to ensure that every piece of content you produce, every post you publish on your website, has the potential to earn you or to add to your residual income. Now, those keyword groups that we're targeting need to be interesting to you, or ideally they have some interest to you. You're enthusiastic about the subject. They have plenty of long tail potential, meaning there's lots of different keyword variations we can work with. They have adequate local search volume, meaning plenty of people in the United States are searching on the keyword phrases in and around that keyword group. And finally, we want keyword groups that have plenty of commercial activity, where advertisers are competing for that traffic, which is driving up the values of the clicks that you can receive from the ads on your website. The process starts with brainstorming. It starts with thinking about anything and everything around which you could publish a post. So grab a piece of paper and a pen and just start to jot down pretty much anything that pops into your head. Jot down hobbies that you have, favorite products that you use to do those hobbies. Jot down your work background, the job you currently have, your dream job. Jot down things about nonfiction subjects that you like to read about, or documentary subjects that you like to watch. Jot down ideas about your family circumstances and your family history, health history, financial goals, health goals. All of it contains subject ideas and topics that can be worked with and massaged into posts that will do great when they're published on your website. So here on your screen, I've got kind of a visual representation of the brainstorming process and how we'll use the Google AdWords keyword tool, which I'm about to show you, to start with more broad subjects and drill down into those subjects to find viable keyword phrases that can be used with great keyword groups. For example, if you have an interest in business, which of course I do, I can start with business, and then even before I get to the AdWords keyword tool, I can think, well, inside of business you have small business, which is interesting to me. You have start a small business or starting a small business, which I'm very interested in. I like to help people start small businesses, especially online. And then you can drill into something as specific as how to start a business with no money, which I know is a major concern for a lot of the people that I interact with. Now, I could use the Google AdWords keyword tool and seed that tool with any one of these phrases in my hunt for viable keyword groups. So a recurring theme here is that there's no specific rule, there's just a guideline, which is you're going to seed the keyword with a keyword phrase. Seed the keyword tool with a keyword phrase. You're going to drill into that subject until you have a nice group of keywords that can be used for a post on your site. Same thing with treadmill. I've got a treadmill near my desk. I like my treadmill. I like to think up treadmill workouts. And sometimes I like to think up specific 15-minute or 20-minute or 30-minute treadmill workouts. So all of these things are in my head, but even if they weren't in my head, I could use the Google AdWords keyword tool to drill down into those and discover the keywords that people are searching that I can turn into posts on my site. So let's go to the Google AdWords keyword tool now. And this is the tool on your screen. One point about it, I want you to set up a Google AdWords account. And we don't need to go through how to do that here. Just go to google.com, type in sign up for Google AdWords, register an account, it's free, and then go do a Google search for the Google AdWords keyword tool. Go ahead and sign in with your Google AdWords account or with your Google account login. I have courtandmark@gmail.com here as my account. Sign in, and then make sure you can get to the Google AdWords keyword tool through the Google search results, signed in, and it will look just like what you see on my screen here. All right. So once you get there, you're ready to start doing that keyword research, that keyword discovery. And I'll start on this tab because it's a blank tab. And I'm going to start with the phrase start a business. Because in my brainstorming, I came up with business and small business, but I really like the idea of start a business or starting a business. So I'm going to type that into the keyword tool first. I want to check this box that says only show me ideas related to my search terms. And I want to make sure that my location is set to the United States and my language is set to English. Those are the most important aspects. I'll click the search button and see what the Google AdWords keyword tool comes up with. Now right away, the first thing I need to do as I'm looking at this set of results is I want to change the default results to just subtract one of these columns. I want to get rid of the global monthly searches. So I do that by unchecking the box next to global monthly searches and choosing apply. And what's left is the keyword, the advertiser competition, which we've talked about. We want to see that as greater than 50%, the local monthly searches, and the approximate CPC. Now I know when I deal with a term as broad as start a business, I need to drill down. We always are looking for the best group of long tail keywords we can focus on a post. So I could have a post called start a business, but that's still pretty broad. So I want to drill down. By the way, you'll notice that my results are sorted by local monthly searches in descending order. I already configured that earlier when I was playing with the tool. You can click on this tool at any time to configure it, sorted ascending or descending. But I want to look into some of these phrases and say, how can I drill down here to find a post that's a little bit more specific and a little bit more interesting to me? So one thing I could look at is, how do I start a business? That's an interesting idea, talking to somebody about how they could start a business. So I'm going to come back up here to the search bar and type in, how do I start a business? And then search that. Now I will get a much more specific set of results with much more long tail activity and potential. For example, now we don't just see how do I start a business, we see how do I start up a business, that's longer tail. How do I start a small business, that's longer tail. How do I get money to start a business? Oh, okay, now we're getting into something very specific, and I could drill in deeper and say, okay, if how do I get money to start a business is something that's interesting to searchers, I'll put that up into the search bar and again click search. And oh, now I'm too specific. See, I've got how do I get money to start a business. So Google's saying, there's no longer tail variation that we can show you of that. So I've got to back off one step and say, okay, I worked with start a business, I worked with how do I start a business, and I've got this idea of get money. I can just sort of keep playing with this, and I can subtract how do I get, and I can look at something like money to start a business. Okay, now I've got some good results. I've got something pretty specific. I've got this concept of getting money to start a business, and I've got all these long tail variations. Where to get money to start a business? How can I get money to start a business? Where can I get money to start a business? How do you get money to start a business? How to start a business with no money? There's a lot going on in these results, and I've got 87 different keyword variations that I could use to drill down into this keyword set and find out if it's something viable. Now right away I can start to check my criteria. I can look at plenty of long tail activity. First of all, we already proved that one. I've got high advertiser competition on plenty of the keyword variations. I've got low advertiser competition on some of the variations, but as long as those low competition keyword phrases, low advertiser competition keyword phrases, are part of a higher competition family of keywords, I'm fine with that. I've got my local monthly searches, and these numbers are pretty high, which tells me that I have not changed the results to exact match. I always forget to do that. Change your results to exact match because it gives you a much closer estimate of how many people are searching a given phrase every month. So I've got decent search volumes here. Remember, I'm looking for local results over 400, but that's a total within the entire group. So I'm basically adding up all these variations and their individual search volumes, and I'm getting way over 400, so that's going to be fine. And I want to see CPCs greater than $2. And as you can see, I'm in great shape there. So I've got a great keyword group here that could become an excellent post or a few posts within my site. Now we'll talk about how to refine this list and decide whether these keywords belong as one group in one post or multiple groups in multiple posts. We'll do that in the next lesson. But right now I can already tell that I'm ready to download this keyword set because it's got plenty of potential on its own. I do that by clicking this download tab, and I'm going to choose to download all of these 88 keywords, and I'll leave it set as CSV for Excel and click download, and then it pops up here in my browser and I can go ahead and open it up with Microsoft Excel. So what do I get on my spreadsheet? If I expand this column, you see I've got all the keywords in the keyword group I just downloaded. I've got their competition percentages converted to an actual two-figure decimal, which works great for me. Then I can look at what their individual competitiveness is more easily. I've got their local search volume and their approximate CPC. That's great. I'm going to save this file, and I'll save it as I could save it anything. I could save it as, say, business keywords, because that's where I started my research, and I'll save it as a spreadsheet. You can use OpenOffice.org, NeoOffice, any free spreadsheet program to do this. Save it on my desktop, go ahead and click Save. Then I'll go ahead and rename this tab something like Money to Start Business. Just some sort of abbreviated version so I can remind myself of what I'm looking at here. And that's a good keyword group. That's something I can work with, and I'll come back to that in the next lesson. Then I'm going to go back to the Google AdWords keyword tool, close out of that download pop, and sort of work my way back toward the head with something like Start a Business, and just repeat this process with different ideas about starting a business. Now here's an interesting one. How to start a cleaning business. 1,600 searches, high advertiser competition, $3 CPC. I wonder if how to start a cleaning business could be a good keyword group. So I'll drill down on that. How to start a cleaning business. Now keep in mind, as you're doing this, you always want to check yourself and say, is this a subject that could be interesting to me? I love small business. I love all kinds of small businesses, so it's interesting me to think about researching and writing about cleaning businesses and how they work and how they succeed. So this works for me. Click Search. And again, I've got this nice group of long tail variations with plenty of terms in each of those. I've got nice high advertiser competition. I've got lower local search on a lot of the variations. But remember, if I group these together, all that has to happen is their total traffic potential has to exceed 400 locals, so I should be fine there. And then I've got high CPCs, so I'm in great shape. I'm going to click Download, all 40 of those, CSV for Excel. Pops up here in my browser. I'll open this one with my Microsoft Excel. And then the one thing I'm going to do differently with my second download here is I'll highlight this entire keyword set with all of its data, copy it, bring it over to my other spreadsheet where I'm keeping track of all these things, paste it in, and then I can clean up the columns or do whatever I need to do. But by doing this, I'm organizing all my keyword research for a given topic within one spreadsheet. This also answers another question a lot of people have, which is, do I need to have one main theme for my entire website? And the answer is no, you don't need to have one theme, a theme like business or starting a business. You don't need to have a theme. You could have topically very distinct posts within a single site. But I think what you'll find is as you do your keyword brainstorming and research, it's not that you'll choose a theme, it'll be more like the theme kind of choosing you. Because I've got how do I get money to start a business, and then I've got starting a cleaning business, and I'll have all these business related keywords, and it just makes sense to have them all published on one website. So that kind of answers the question about whether your site will target one theme. It also answers a question about how many sites you'll have. If in the process of doing this research I'm doing a lot of business related research, and then I switch over to fitness related keyword research, which I'll do in a second, that's just sort of a signal to me that I don't think it makes great sense to have posts about fitness and posts about a cleaning business on the same site necessarily. So I'll probably separate those into two distinct groups and say this is potentially a nice business site, this is potentially a nice fitness site, and I'll make a decision later about how many sites to have and which one to start with first. For right now, I'm just going to keep my keyword research nice and organized and plow through the process. So here on my spreadsheet where I downloaded my cleaning business keywords, I'll just rename the tab cleaning business and save that. And you see that I'm just repeating this process. I'll keep adding new tabs with new keyword groups and work my way through until I've got some really robust keyword research. Now there will be times when you come across a keyword set. We'll just close out of this tab and move on to something more like medicine ball. Now I'm getting into the fitness keywords. I like medicine balls. I like to work out with medicine balls. So I type medicine ball into the Google AdWords keyword tool. Only show ideas closely related, United States, English, and search. This time I'll remember to change my match type to exact, and I will drop the global search volume from my results. So now I have medicine ball, and I've got 199 different keywords within that medicine ball group. So there's going to be some good stuff in here for me. But I wanted to show you medicine ball as an example because if we do a search by local monthly searches, we're going to see right away that searches tapers off pretty drastically, pretty quickly. So there's not a ton of traffic in this space like there was with Start a Business. And I'm also seeing low advertiser competitions. And I'm seeing low CPCs. 89 cents, $1.20, $1.59. So this keyword set is already not necessarily meeting my strict criteria. But remember what I said, interest and enthusiasm trump the numbers within reason. So if I really like medicine ball exercises and I feel like I've got some interesting things to say about medicine ball exercises, I'm not going to cast it aside just because it has a low CPC and low advertiser competition. I'll set up a post that targets medicine ball exercises, and I'll just maintain the right expectations about what that one post can do for me. It may not get really high paying clicks. It may not get tons of clicks. But it's a subject I can write about fairly easily. I'm interested in it, so I'm going to put that post on my site. I'll drill down into medicine ball exercises, click search, and 44 different long tail variations, very low advertiser competition, low CPCs, but I've got traffic here. I've got enough traffic to justify a post. So I'll run with that. By the way, one thing you can do with the AdWords tool is use this include terms and exclude terms to clean up this list before you download. For example, I like medicine ball exercises, plural, but maybe I want to ensure that the tool is showing me anything also relating to medicine ball exercise. And that gave me, you see it jumped from 44 keyword ideas to 52 keyword ideas. So now I've got a little bit more diversity in my keyword group. I like the looks of things, even though I've got some low competition and low CPC. I go to download, grab all 53, download a CSV for Excel, open up that spreadsheet with Microsoft Excel. And again, remember that because I'm on a completely different theme now, I'm on fitness, I'll probably save this as something more like fitness keywords. Save it as a spreadsheet. And rename that tab. This is medicine ball exercises. Save that. And then I'd work my way through all the different medicine ball possibilities, adding a new tab each time, setting myself up to refine my keyword ideas, group them, and set myself up to have some really nice posts on my site. So that's as far as we need to get in this lesson. I need to turn you loose on the Google AdWords keyword tool and the brainstorming process. I want you to download 10, 15, 20 different lists of keywords from the AdWords tool. And in the next lesson, we'll talk about refining those lists, organizing them into sensible posts, and practicing the development of good keyword-rich post titles for those posts. So go ahead and jump into that, and I will talk to you in the next lesson.